you Metallica freaks, we're working on some more And Justice for All tones. Today I'm covering the guitar setup for Blackened, the first track on And Justice for All. Alright, as you know, this one's a down picking masterpiece. I'm going to show you how to set up your tone in Garageband. Let's jump right into it. Alright, so this tone is a little variation on the one I did for And Justice for All. So this tone for Blackened is going to give you a little deeper sound, a little bit more low end, a little bit fuller. Alright, first patch you're going to set up. Go to your amp selector and you need to go down to the distorted range here and pick this American Stack distortion amp. So it's going to pull up this Garageband amp, modeled after a little bit more modern high gain amplifier. As you can see here, your EQ, pick the modern. Here's the bass and the mids and the treble. So bass is almost 3 o'clock, mids at 11, treble about 2 o'clock. Here's your gain, almost 3 o'clock. No reverb, very dry sound here today for some Hetfield chuggy down picking. No vibrato, of course, that's off. Here's your presence, almost 3 o'clock, master's at 3 o'clock. For the cabinet, you can definitely go with the modern British 4x12, but if you want to use a variation on that based on your particular guitar that you're using, I also found that the vintage British 4x12 works well, and also the modern American 4x12. Be nice if people stop flushing toilets around here. Alright, for our mic setting, pick this ribbon 121. Here is the placement. Once again, as I always say, the actual cabinet that you're using and the mic placement has a huge influence on the tone that you're going to get. So you might have to experiment a little bit, but this is enough to get you very close. Alright, next I'll show you what I got set up on my pedal board. Alright, today for the pedal board, I've got my guitar signal. Definitely need to use a guitar with a humbucker. I've got my signal going into a tube screamer style pedal to bump up my boost a little bit going into the Garageband interface. So you're going to pick this rat style distortion on the left channel here. Here's your volume, about 2 o'clock, filters about 10 o'clock, distortion about 2 o'clock. Use the yellow vintage drive. Drive is about 1 o'clock, tone at 3 o'clock, levels at 2. I was using the double dragon drive, that's off right now. So you've got these two distortion pedals split with a mixer on AB, panned hard left and hard right. Gives you a nice stereo image. Lastly is the graphic EQ pedal, last in the chain here. And you can see the general settings here. It's kind of a mid scoop. I've got maybe a little bit higher here visually, but you'll just have to experiment a little bit with your exact tone that you're getting. You might be using a different guitar. It's going to give you a different result. Alright, so lastly I'll give you a couple sound samples with a slight variation that I used on the pedal board. So for this first sample, I'll show you the setup with this rat pedal used in line with the pedal board. Okay, here's a slight variation where I've got the vintage drive pedal going into the double dragon. Okay, so beyond that, we have a couple of the plug-in settings here that I'll show you. So you're going to have to add a noise gate. So I've got this fast gate setting at -45 dB. I showed you the pedal board and the amp designer settings. Here's what your channel EQ looks like. I've got a couple notches down here in these mid frequencies here. Not much, just enough to shape the sound slightly. And lastly, we've got a compressor on. So this is the manual compressor. Threshold is at -16.5, ratio is at 4.1, attack at 16 milliseconds, and the gain at -5.5 dB. So be sure to try all those settings. Leave me some feedback in the comments if those are working out for you, and if you're able to achieve some sounds pretty close to that blackened tone. Alright, make sure you check out all my other videos where I cover many other guitar players, styles, and tones.